buddy. And welcome. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. The original Trilogy. I've never played this game, so it's going to be quite interesting. But I am a real attorney, and I think being a real attorney playing this is going to be wild, to say the least. Alright. Let me do a couple other things just to get set up. Bear with me for a moment. Oh well. See, this is very clearly a professional thing. I'm very clearly good at this. I'm gonna not mute it, that was my other concern. But alright, I suppose let's begin the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. I've never once played this, so we're gonna have fun. There's Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Justice for All, Trials and Tribulations. I'm gonna go with just the basic Phoenix Wright. That's probably the best bet. Let's play the game. Episode 1, the first turnabout. There will be many, many, many times that I'm gonna go, no, that's not right. That's not how the law is. So this will be amusing. Let's play the first turnabout. I already got an achievement. Cool. Gasp! Gasp! Damn it! Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Oh, spoilers, it's this guy. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Boy, am I nervous! Right! Hi, boobs. Oh, hiya, Chief. Phew! I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. Alright, so of course it's a murder trial, so we have to do it. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks? Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. Terrible reason to represent someone who you owe him a favor. That's just... You're gonna have a bad time with that. It's just all in all. Oh, so I've decided that every time I see something that's gonna be, like, not proper, I'm going to say objection and explain my objection. So, this is proper, but weird. You wouldn't usually, you wouldn't generally do it as a favor, because that's not a great idea. You mean you do the defendant for this case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. Okay, that's also interesting. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. And we all know reasons why I became an attorney. That's news to me. I want to help out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much.
Pausing for a quick second. Your microphone is having issues.
Oh,
on
am I?
the stream. Yeah.
Okay.
So we just want to make sure that we have that looked at.
Technical difficulties.
Make sure it's set up to the microphone and not to your camera.
Yeah, it should be. Let me... I muted the mic, because that's kind of important right now.
Nope, everything's good there. Click on the microphone real quick. Yeah. Here. You mind if I get up real quick?
Sure. I'm gonna get a little more water anyway.
Yep.
Like, what's the issue with it so far?
It's cutting in and out. So, I'm just gonna check and see what we have going on here. Okay, so you didn't mute it, just so you know. Yeah, it's not that that's using it. I can tell it's the microphone from the other thing, so give me a second. Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, yep, it's definitely not the right microphone. Give me a few seconds here, I'm going to just check.
I can also unplug the camera.
That's from the web camera. Okay. Alright, how's that? Can't hear it all? Cool. Waiting. Is better? Okay.
So we're set again?
Yep, everything's all set again.
Alright.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was definitely picking up from the camera.
Makes sense. Clearly we're a professional showing, aren't we? Alright, let's get back to this. Alright. Alright. My life, everything! It's all over! ... Is that your client screaming over there? I mean, probably. Yeah, it's him! Death, despair! Oh! I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna die! It sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick? This is from Butts. That's a name. But... Nick! Hey there, Larry! Dude, I'm so guilty! Tell them I'm guilty! No, no! Give me the death sentence, I ain't afraid to die! Oh, you're very clearly a millennial. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over! I'm finished! Finished! I can't live in a world without her! I can't! Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Aw, Nick, you gotta tell me! Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. Here's the story, Morning Glory. My first case is a fairly simple one. There's no such thing as a simple case, especially a murder case. The young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts, my best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That and I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. I mean, okay, valid reason to take the case, like, this is Josh, the attorney, who's going to step in. You know what? Totally valid, but there's sometimes, like, you might not want to represent, like, a good friend of yours, because it can certainly adjust the way that you do the case. Like, generally, like, now I have represented people that I've known. I've represented people multiple times, but I've never really, like, I've never represented, like, a friend, because there's other issues there. Like, I've assisted friends, so for some context, I currently do collections work, but I started my career doing tenant advocacy. And I have assisted friends when they were having housing issues, but generally, like, it's kind of just a small thing, and it's not real representation. In this case, like, if I were the attorney, I would have some issues wanting to represent an old friend of mine, because it might adjust the way you look at the case. Alright, so let's continue. And that's just what I'm going to do! August 3rd, 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor. Come on, Phoenix. Have more confidence than that. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Also, murder is a first trial? Oh boy. Yes, Your Honor. I'm a little nervous. Never tell that to a judge. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge for your client's sake. I hope you can control your nerves. If you were nervous, you really shouldn't be representing someone in a murder trial. It's a bad idea. There's so much on the line that if you're nervous, it's not a good idea. Thank you, Your Honor. ... Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Objection, Your Honor! This never will happen in court! Yes, Your Honor. Hand shaking, eyesight fading. Oh, game volume's a little loud? Alright, let me go and, try and turn that down some. Oh, I don't want it to be 0, but I think 1 might be good. Oh yeah, I'm gonna turn off the text box. I'm gonna turn off vibration. I really don't need vibration right now. Alright, yeah, hopefully that's good. Alright, saving content, loading content. Alright. Let me know if this sounds better now. Wait. Hand shaking, eyesight fading, palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Also, way out of line. Like, that will not happen in a case. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. Phoenix, right now. It's Larry Butts. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. What I... Alright. Let me go adjust some of the settings here. Give me... You know, as I've said before, very clearly a professional performance. Is that better? Does that sound better for you guys now? Alright, well, I'll see the, Okay, good. Yeah, sorry. Very clearly not a professional performance. Alright, the defendant, well, Larry Butts, Your Honor. I would hope you would know the name of your client. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Phew, I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. Actually, a good thing to do. Like, you want to read your case report as many times as you possibly can, because the phrase an attorney should never ask a question they don't know the answer to, that's completely true, because if you don't know the answer to a question you're going to ask, or at least what the answer should be, then you're going to look unprofessional, you're going to look... It's gonna hurt your case. But if you've read the case file enough times and the person you're examining on the stand does end up saying, like, something completely out of line, you can refer back to the case file, assuming you put it into evidence, and you can use that to help impeach the witness. But it's... wait. Uh-oh. Ding. No way. I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. You would have your notes in front of you in a trial, like... Every time I've taken a case to hearing, I have, like, any type of hearing, whether it be full trial, whether it be just like a motion hearing, I always have a good number of notes in front of me. Like, for what I do right now on the collection side, is I always have the charge-off date, which is when the credit card was turned off. I have the last payment date. I have all of the payments that have been made, and I have my current total amount. So, this is when you refer to your case file, and try not to forget the names. Yeah. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name! Yeah, that's a really Not a good look, Phoenix. Not a good look. Oh, the victim. Of course I know the victim's name. I, just forgot. Temporarily. Never, ever, ever, ever say that. Objection. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press tab to check it any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Alright, so let's go check the court record. Wow, a badge as an attorney? I mean, I have a card that shows I'm an attorney in Massachusetts. And her name is Cindy. Alright, Cindy's autopsy report. Time of death? Death, yes. Time of death. 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on July 31st. Oh wow, so this was like... So, in a real trial, you would not be having a trial date 4 days after like there was a death of a victim. Like, this would be... Like, you would be put into an initial, like, hearing sometimes, like a bail hearing. But even still, like, for a trial? Again, I know this is not based in American law. That I know. But you wouldn't have a trial 3 to 4 days after the actual death, because there's tons of investigation that the police have to go through. The prosecution has to look at the case and has to actually go to file charges. And there's a whole lot you need to do. But all right, her name is Cindy. So let's look at her report. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? It's Cindy Stone. Cinderblock. It's definitely not Cinderblock. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was... the good old blunt force trauma, hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. Objection. First off, like, your case is going to proceed. Your judge isn't going to necessarily say, oh, this case is not going to proceed because X and X reason. They're going to set a trial date, or set, like, motion dates, set hearing dates, set, like, in a lot of cases, particularly in, like, Connecticut, they have, like, status conferences that you have to go through. And when it said, alright, so we will have discovery due this day, we will have our pretrial on this day, and Mass does most of the same thing. They actually do a lot of times with a case management conference. So we'll have, you know, like a case management conference, which will then, you'll have one of those, then it usually goes to a pretrial, and after pretrial is when you start getting your hearing date. That's on the civil side. We're doing, like, housing. Housing is mostly just, like, day of. Like, you certainly have a lot of cases in which they go a long time, so you file an answer, or you file discovery requests. But I understand this is a video game, but y'all are watching this to watch a lawyer pick this apart, so it's really your fault if you're watching this. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Again, a judge wouldn't say that. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then. First, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? A murder weapon was this statue of the Thinker. And also proof I'm a lawyer. Every time I see statue, I always want to read statute. It was found lying on the floor, next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. So that's not fully incorrect. Like, what usually happens is, if you want to put something into evidence, you show a copy of it to the other side. You mark it an exhibit for identification, and then when it actually comes up in your hearing, you... Thank you. Yes, Scarflash. I know you did. But when the court actually accepts something into evidence, usually it's a situation of it's a mark for identification. Whatever questioning gets brought up, you say to the judge, Your Honor, I wish to put X and X into evidence as, for example, as prosecution's Exhibit A or Exhibit 1. It depends on what jurisdiction you're in. But generally, like in my experiences, the petitioners tend to do exhibit 1, 2, 3, whereas the defense a lot of times do exhibits A, B, C. But again, that'll vary in whatever court you're in. Statue added to the court record. Statue in the shape of the finger. It's rather heavy. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. Thank you, Mia. Are you my co-counsel? Are you my supervising attorney? Because, like, a lot of times you will have, like, co-counsel, and a lot of counsels will work together. But, like, even more, sometimes it's just you out there at the mercy of the judge. Evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. That's actually true. Things that can actually be used within a court trial are evidence that's been entered into that the judge can use that to rule upon. Any of the questionings that took place during the hearing, like, you can try and bring that in there, because the judge will usually have a copy of the case record and the court transcripts, because every single hearing is recorded, because the court needs it for all of their records. Use tab to check the court record frequently. Alright, so we have my attorney's badge. No one would believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. That's, again, just weird, but whatever. I mean, this is a different jurisdiction. Maybe they have a badge they need to go through. Yep, we got cause of death for Cindy. Loss of blood due to blunt trauma. And a statue of the thinker. A statue in the shape of the thinker. It's rather heavy, which was the murder weapon. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Alright, so another thing of real law. The prosecution does not necessarily have the right to call the defendant to the stand. The defendant has a Fifth Amendment right to not be on the stand, because the belief is, like, you know. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Scarflash. I appreciate that. But a defendant has an absolute right to plead the Fifth Amendment, which means, like, they don't want to be put on the stand because it might end up, it could end up impacting their case. It could self-incriminate, which is absolutely, that's completely protected by the Fifth Amendment. That's why you'll hear the phrase "I plead the Fifth," or someone will, like, you'll hear the phrase "someone pled the Fifth." It's like, hey, I don't want to be on the stand. Now, there are certainly a lot of cases in which defense counsel will put their defendant on the stand, particularly if they're actually, like, a pretty good witness. But generally, in criminal trials, a defendant has the absolute right to not take the stand in fear of self-incrimination. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. And that's where the Fifth Amendment comes in. Like, a defendant generally is not trained at being examined. And there are two types of examinations. There's a direct exam and there's a cross-examination. A direct examination is, I am calling you as my witness. So I'm a criminal defense attorney, and there's, like, a witness who saw my client somewhere completely different and so I'm trying to build an alibi. I would be able to call that witness to the stand after revealing to the other side, saying, hey, I'm going to call this person to the stand. And that's when you will, like, start to go through and question them, like, okay, so where was the defendant at this point? You said the defendant was with you. Tell me, like, what were you guys doing? Things like that. And you're not allowed to ask leading questions on direct exam. A leading question is something that, like, generally only has, like, a yes or no answer. So, like, a leading question would be, so say, like, I'm cross-examining my witness, or I'm cross-examining the opposition's witness, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show, like, oh, this police officer had a bone to pick with my client. So I could ask something along the lines of, like, so, Mr. Officer, did you ever actually test my client for a DUI? Because that's an answer that he would have to ask yes or no to. And what you do on cross-examination is to try and, like, you know, get the answers to the questions that you want, so that way the judge can use it to benefit them. So this is where the Fifth Amendment comes in. And leading questions are a big objection. You can't ask a leading question on direct exam, but almost every single question on cross-examination should be a leading question. Uh-oh, Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Which is again why I would not put him on the stand in this case. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? This is an example of a leading question. I would actually be able to object to this if it was in real court, because Mr. Payne actually called Mr. Butts to the stand. So what I would do in this case would be like, objection, Your Honor, leading question. And what Mr. Payne should ask, or Attorney Payne should ask in this question would be, Mr. Butts, tell me your relationship with the victim. And that's when he would go, oh yeah, like we dated, and so we dated, and then he could ask, are you guys still together? Something like that is not a leading question, because it allows for a larger answer than just a simple yes or no. So this is a leading question that I would absolutely object to. Hey, watch it, buddy! We were great together! We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony! Didn't they all die? Thank you, Phoenix. I wasn't dumped! She just wasn't taking my phone calls! Or seeing me! Ever! What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. Also would not be something that they would ask. That is the attorney testifying, which is also something I would object to if this was in American court. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies! All of it! Lies! I don't believe a word of it! Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Passport. Passport. The victim apparently arrived home from Paris on 7:30, the day before the murder. The passport has been added to the court record. Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. Sorry, the voices make my throat go a little iffy. But yes. Dude, no way! The victim was a model. Did not have a large income. In that case, I would probably like, again, the prosecution is testifying here, which is a big no-no. In this case, like I would object to this and just go, Your Honor, the attorney is testifying, which the judge would have to say, yeah, you're right, or the judge would mostly say objection sustained, and force the prosecution to go on a different questioning pattern. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Also, like, not necessarily relevant. If he says it, what Mr. Payne would have to, Attorney Payne would have to do in this case would be get a witness to basically say, yeah, she had all these different sugar daddies, and when I witnessed what happened here, Mr. Butts ended up getting really aggressive and possessive. Because that, that is evidence you can bring in there to make it seem more likely that no, this was a murder on his case. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! And we can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. In this case, that would not be a question you would even want to ask her. He's not asking questions, so again, objection, Your Honor, testifying from as an attorney. But it would be very much like, even like we can see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. That doesn't necessarily help his case because it makes his side a little less sympathetic. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? I guess you can ask that question. It doesn't really get to much, and I don't think I would object to this because it's not. I don't think it's really going to help his case on a what he might think. So this would just kind of be extraneous information that doesn't necessarily relate. So I'd go, oh, no, keep going down this line. The judges may be gonna not take it as if you're asking the right questions, because it's not making your position any more viable. Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. If I knew that about my witness, then oh yeah, I would totally object to that, because that would not. If that's the case, if that's something that could make him look worse, I would definitely object to that, because my obligation is to my client. Should I? Yeah, I will end up objecting to this. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. You would say objection. Nah, not on that one. That's not proper there, Phoenix. That question is irrelevant to this case. And that'd be a question you would go with, like, objection irrelevant. Oof. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog? I'm gonna die! I'm just gonna drop dead! Dude, you're very clearly a millennial. Yeah, when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this! Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused motives is sorry, I got the wrong voice there. I believe the accused motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is so not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Objection, Your Honor, leading. Gulp. Well, did you or did you not? Objection, Your Honor. Leading question. This is his witness he called to the stand. Well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. If you're on the stand, never, ever, 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 ever answer a question like that. Not only does that make you look like a jackass, it makes you look unsympathetic, and the jury would go, what the hell, man? This is awful. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? Well, in this case, I would have him answer honestly, because stop him from answering. This is actually something that's relevant to the case of were you that night. So I would have to have him answer honestly. I know. I'll send him a signal that that could very well be an issue. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went. Order! Well, Mr. Butts. Dude, chill! Never say dude chill to a judge. Just don't do it. She wasn't home, man, so, like, I didn't see her. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. This is... So you can use a witness to kind of... use it in part to impeach what a witness had done on the stand before. But it's not... You don't say it directly of, like, I'm going to call a witness who can prove that he's lying. Because... that's just, like... That's a very strong term. And it doesn't necessarily help you as an attorney. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body, just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. This is also unusual. If a witness is on the stand, you don't take them off the stand to put a new witness on there. Because the way it actually works in a trial is you call your witness for direct examination, then I would get the chance to go through cross-examination. After cross-examination, you can do a redirect, which lets you only ask questions that were discussed during the cross-examination. And then after redirect, you have a re-cross-examination, which you bring up. You can ask the same questions. You can ask similar questions to what was asked during the redirect. And that's pretty much how that works. Now, witnesses can take a long, long time. Like, I've had trials in which when I was clerking, because I used to clerk in a criminal and a habeas corpus court, which was post-conviction work, and there were sometimes you would have witnesses that would be on the stand for days because they were so key to the case. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct? Objection leading. Oh yes! Newspapers, yes! Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. That's also unusual. A judge, in most situations, will not be the one asking any questions or advising you to, like, explain what you're doing in this case. So, that's weird. It would pretty much just be like, the judge would generally say, at least, again, this is American court now. I believe Phoenix Wright, I know, is not an American game. And I do not know enough about, East Asian courts to really know, like, because I believe this game is Japanese. I could be very wrong, and if I am, please correct me in the comments. But this would be unusual to have a judge ask questions like that. Witness testimony. Witness account. I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. There I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead! I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. That dates this game. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. So that would have been that was a bit of an unusual testimony as well, because that would be... I could potentially object to calls for a narrative answer. So what a narrative answer is, it's like... just this, you're telling a narrative. The way it's supposed to kind of work within a direct examination is... the attorney who's doing the direct exam is supposed to just ask questions, like... So in this case, like, if I were the prosecutor, I'd go, so... what were you doing on the day of this incident? Solid would answer the question. Then it'd be, okay, and how often do you go there? He would answer that question, because that would also, like, build, like, okay, he's familiar with an area, and makes my witness more credible. This is, as a narrative answer, is not something you usually see, and it very often could be objected to. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. That actually you can do in a hearing. Like, one question you can a lot of times ask to a witness was like, do you see the person who did this in the room? And a lot of times, like, you will see, like, yeah, it's that guy. Like, actually, the movie Goodfellas does a pretty good situation of that, in which Ray Liotta's character, Henry Hill, is at the court and he's turning state's evidence against the mob. And the prosecutor asks, do you see this person, do you see, like, do you see the person who committed these crimes, who allegedly, or is the person that you saw in this room? And he'd go, yeah, right there. So, like, that you could see. It wouldn't be this direct. And I would certainly have the chance to cross-examine that. But yeah, there's that. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against testimony like that. You actually can. That's actually... You can defend that fairly easily. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Again, the prosecution would not not testify there like that. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Blackout record. Electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Was added to the court record. Now, Mr. White. Right. Yes, yes, Your Honor? You may begin your cross-examination. So let's... So before I'm doing my cross, I want to look at everything that we have. So we have the time of death, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Blunt force trauma. The statute we believe is the murder weapon. And the passport in which she arrived on 7:30 the day before the murder. And the electricity was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. So that fits in there, and that fits in that 4 to 5 p.m. time period there. Oh, they have like profiles I can start going with. Oh, okay, yeah. So BFA is the chief attorney at Fay and Cross, my boss and a very good defense attorney. Larry Butts, the defendant in this case, a likable guy who has been my friend since grade school. Cindy Stone, the victim in this case, a model. She lived in an apartment by herself. Winston Payne, age 52, the prosecutor for this case. Lacks presence, generally bad at getting his points across. That I can agree with. And Frank Sawit, discovered Miss Stone's body, newspaper salesman who saw Larry flee the scene. Alright. Alright, so now the cross-examination is really like... Cross-examination is the really exciting part of a trial. Like, that's the one that you see on everything. Even if it's not necessarily the, A lot of times the direct exam is arguably more important than cross-exam, because the direct exam is when you're questioning your witness, you're getting everything you need across. But cross-examination is exciting, and you use that mostly to try and damage the credibility of the other witnesses. Alright. Give me like 2 seconds. Alright, so now let's begin the cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Phoenix, you should know this is common in every trial. Alright, right, this is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? He should not be doing a murder trial if he doesn't know how to cross-examine. Why you expose the lies and testimony the witness just gave? That's not entirely true. You don't expose the lies so much as you do what you can to damage the credibility of the witness. Sometimes it can be like making it seem as if they did perjure themselves, but you're not necessarily trying to expose the lies. You're trying to say like, oh, they could have been mistaken, oh, they're not a reliable witness, and that's what cross-examination is used for. Lies? What? He was lying? The client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Where's your client? Really? Guilty. How do I prove he's not? Aw, Phoenix, dude, you should not be doing a murder trial. You hold the key, it's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. I mean, you could... So, again, you can use the evidence to try and impeach the witness. Like, for example, it'd be like, he was like, yeah, when I was there at 1 p.m., the power was out. When you look at the court record and say, actually, no, the power was out from 2 to 6. So, maybe. You would bring that up, you bring it up and just go, like, in the evidence here it says this. Do you believe that then how could you have been there at X and X time? Okay. Open the court record with tab, then point out the contradictions in the testimony. She looks so slimy. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Think it's strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. Well, now, I think there's an issue there. He said he was too scared to go inside, but he just said the phone wasn't working. phone in her apartment wasn't working. Yes, I mean, no, it wasn't, right. But you said you didn't go into the apartment, or did you? Oh, that? I can explain that. There was a cordless phone on a shelf in the entranceway. I reached inside and tried using that to call. And that phone wasn't working, correct? What happened next? I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly, it was 1 p.m. Well, there's an issue. Because we see, the defense, it was said she time of death was between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present this. You found the body at 1 p.m., you're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death is sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. Womp womp. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that? Objection! This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sawit, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. It's also, if you're on the stand, don't answer a question that way. Just don't. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out the contradictions. That is true. Like, that is a big part about the cross-examination, is you're trying to damage their credibility. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now! Now I'm gonna look at the court record really quick. So, clearly we have 4 to 5 p.m., cause of death. Finger was the murder weapon. Victim arrived at 7:30, day before the murder. And the building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Wait, I remember now! Would you care to give your testimony again? I'm not necessarily give your testimony again, but a judge could, or not judge, a counsel could ask, would you be able to explain this again? Since it was unclear. The time of discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. There's an issue there, because we have the court record, in which there was the blackout record, so TV wouldn't have been on during that time. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video or a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Now, can I actually present this right now? No, can't present it. I guess I have to wait till my cross again. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. I see, you heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. The time of discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Well, there's an issue. Because the blackout record. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. Ah! You couldn't have heard the television or a video. Gah! Defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sawit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. Exactly what cross-examination is used for. That and you seem rather distraught. Mixed up my voices. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. We know that's not true. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There's a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. We know that's not true. So, we can go ahead and use the statue, the murder weapon. Objection! Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? What? You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne. As the witness stated, the statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submit it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony now? I mean, let's look at the court record. So I mean, I still have an issue with the testimony because that's just bad, but well, yes, it's the issue because if he heard the time, you said you have to turn the statue sideways. So yes, I would still have an issue with it. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah, prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with a clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sawit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. So, a couple issues with this. One of them, no one ever confesses on the stand. Like, that's a Perry Mason moment that just doesn't happen. And this is a lot of stretches in which, like, me as the attorney it's not my job to necessarily prove that he's guilty. What I need to do is I need to make it so the jury does not have evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that my client was the one who committed the crime. In this case, from what we've established here, the jury could absolutely think my client is innocent, or is not guilty, because the prosecution hasn't met their burden of beyond a reasonable doubt. Because there's some reasonable doubts you can certainly have here about, oh, did Mr. Butts actually kill the victim? Objection! What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Not really testimony you can use. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? The judge wouldn't ask that question. That day, I never... Look, I saw, yeah! Qua! Shut up, shut up, I hate you! It was him, I tell you, I saw him! He killed her and he should burn! Burn! Give him death! Order. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright? Your Honor? You claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Sawit heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... Well, I'd probably try sounding the clock. That, assuming you can get that, that's a pretty big proof. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is strange. It certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one. That, the prosecution should object to, because that is being straight up hostile to a witness. You forgot one thing! Uh-oh, what's he talking about now? Well, it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow. It proves nothing! How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case! Again, there's a lot of evidence here that say, I'm doing what I need to for my client to be... There's certainly reasonable doubt that can be raised here. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it! I was so close! Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately... This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawit. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens! You treat me like a criminal! A criminal! You lawyers are all slime. Like, the only evidence that I haven't used is the passport. But there could be a certain thing on the passport. He might, if he keeps talking, to bring this up. So let's see. Grr, I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sawit. Chief! Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think! But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. It doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Okay. Think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow. Yes. The passport from Paris. Wait, maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Which is not your burden. The burden of the defense has no burden. It is the prosecution's burden to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant was guilty of this case. Ha! Tough words! Let's see you pull this one off! Okay, so I can't do it yet. Let's see this evidence that proves the clock was running slow. The passport. It's the day before the murder. She had not changed the clock yet. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sawit? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Nah, yeah.
I think he just had a seizure.
Order! Order, I say! Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness? He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly. Which is also, the timeline is totally off on that. Like, you should not... You wouldn't have gotten this trial like 2 days before. You would have had plenty of time to prep it. Like, this is just... That is completely wild. And find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but... This court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. And with that, this court is adjourned. Turned out that Frank Sawit was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sawit let himself to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sawit grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, Number 2. Phew! I still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations! Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over! Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Aw, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Definitely a goddamn millennial. Good. Wait, no, I mean bad. Bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Windy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat. Oh no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present for me? Wait, was this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick! Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you want to just cry? Larry. ... Are you so sure? Squeeze me? I think she thought quite a lot of you, in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right, Wright? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah! Right! What the heck is she talking about? Think that's supposed to be the attorney's badge? I don't know. Here you go, Larry. Proof. It's okay, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll forget about her soon enough. Look, I'm gonna head home. Thanks a ton, eh? Guess that wasn't the right thing to show him. Right. I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Aww. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me. We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah! Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah, part at least. You have to tell me more about it sometime. Oh, that makes sense. Like I said, that actually makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Scarflash. But I think I'm also in lawyer mode of like, no, that's an evidence. You don't take that. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave Mia." I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. Oh, damn. The end. A brand new episode has been added. Whoop, I did not want to start. Yeah, I'm going to save my progress up this one. Alright, let's save it in slot 1. Alright, we're going to take a little bit of a break so I can grab a little bit of water and be right back in probably in a few minutes. So I will be back here shortly. Alright, and we are back. Let me go make sure everything is working. Alright, looks like everything is back up and working again. So now let's continue. Yep, I'm going to overwrite this save file. Or, yeah, I'm overwriting because I guess it's because I'm starting it new anyway. Alright. Bring, bring, bring. Beep. Hello, this is Maya. Hey, Maya, it's me. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Sorry, I've been so busy. How have you been? Well, lonely, and it's all your fault. Nah, I'm just teasing. I've been great. I'm finally getting used to having my own place. That's good to hear. Actually, I'm calling because I have a favor to ask. I know. You want me to hold evidence for you. Sharp as always. There's a lot of buzz about the upcoming trial. I just don't feel safe keeping the evidence here. I gotcha, so what is it this time? It's a clock. A clock? Yeah, it's made to look like that statue, the Thinker, and it tells you the time. I thought you might like it. You always like toys. Hey, I'm not a little girl anymore, sis. Now. No, I'm only teasing. I should probably tell you. The clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out, sorry. I put some papers inside it instead. Papers? Is that the evidence then? Well, there's a possibility that it might turn out that way, yes. You come by the office tonight, say 9 o'clock to pick it up? I'll be in a pretrial meeting until then. Okay, sis, but I expect dinner. Something good. Like burgers. I could really go for a good burger. It actually does sound pretty good right now. Okay. We'll hit the usual joint. Alright, it's a deal. Okay, sis. See you soon. Yep, I'll be waiting, Maya. Beep. Conversation recorded. September 5th, 9:27 a.m. September 5th, 8:57 p.m. Fay & Co. Law Offices. Now, Miss Fay, I'll take what's mine. The papers. I'm sorry, but I can't give you what I don't have. Miss Fay, you are a poor liar. Why, I see it right over there. That must be the Thinker that swallowed those papers. How could you know? Oh, you are not cogniferous of my background? Gathering information is my business, you see. I should have been more careful. Oh, my dear Miss Fay, I am so very sorry. But I'm afraid I must ask you for one more thing. Your eternal silence. Farewell, Miss Fay. No! Oh boy. Red, white, blue. September 5th, 9:08 p.m. Fay & Co. Law Offices. Uh-oh, I'm late. Huh, that's strange. Guess the chief left without me. She said her sister was coming over, so we should all go out for dinner. What's that smell? Blood? Mia! Maybe she's in her office. You're absolutely gonna examine that. I smell blood, and that can't be good. I have to check and see if Mia, the chief's okay. Alright, so I guess I move this. I smell blood, and that can't be good. Okay. Okay, I've heard that a few times. Yikes. Alright, so I guess, so I have, if I go back, I can move, okay. Let's go move into the office. That smell! Blood! Sis! Someone's there! Oh no! Just Scarflash, that's a bad joke. That's a bad joke. Chief? Chief? Chief! Who are you? I think she fainted. The strange girl dropped out cold. I left her lying on the office sofa. I went back to the chief, where she lay under the window. This one you should call the police immediately. Her body was still warm. I could feel it when I held her shoulder. Then, all too quickly, it began to fade. Until finally she was cold. Woof. Chief. I need to examine everything. Some shards of glass are scattered on the floor. The remains of a glass light stand. It's encrusted with dried blood. How ironic this became the murder weapon. Twice. Oh, I think I said twice. I went too fast there. Whoops. No clues here. So is it actually like, does it light up yellow when... Okay, it lights up yellow when you're there. Chief. It's hard seeing her like this. If there are any clues here. She was struck on the head with a blunt object. She probably died instantly. The thinker lying next to her must have been the murder weapon. Thinker added to the court record. There are some glass shards near the chief's body. Plus pieces of the glass light stand lying broken on the back of the room. Glass shards added to the court record. Nothing else that seems like a clue here. A piece of paper. It must have fallen from Mia's hand. What could it be? A word is written in blood on this scrap of paper. Maya. Did Mia write this? This piece of paper is a receipt from a department store, dated yesterday. Receipt added to the court record. I think that's enough snooping around for now. I better call the police. Find out what that girl was doing here. Alright, so this is still yellow. I'm sure it's not a big deal, but it's painful, but I have to for Mia's sake. Okay. Okay, I guess. Weird. It just didn't register that I had taken that a couple times. Whatever. Oh, there's a little more over here. The chief's chair. A simple, functional design. Feels pretty good to sit in, too. Alright, let's keep looking around. That's been marked. Oh, there's a window shade behind her. There's a large building right across from the office. The Gatewater Hotel, a nice luxurious place. I actually kind of like how they have the little, they let you kind of look through. If you're looking around with the magnifying glass, I actually kind of like that. Rest in peace, Chief. Alright, let's look over here. Alright, so let's just start on the notebook. The Fay & Co. ledger book. Everything was written in the Chief's ultra-neat handwriting. It's a small office, but it makes a good bit of money. Right, I'd better call the police. That's funny. A few of the screws on the receiver are missing. Looks like someone was halfway through taking it apart. Police! Please, come quick! What was that? Someone screamed from outside the window. She's staring right at me. She's holding a phone in her hand. Weird. Alright, let's look at the computer. Surprisingly, the chief was never good with machines. About she used this PC for was email. Pick up this ancient model at some garage sale for practically nothing. There's that. So I still have this over here to look at, but is there anything else for me to take a gander at? Looks like it's just over here now. All the chief's important documents are packed in here. This is where she filed her case records and recent rulings. Alright, looks like that's all been marked over there. Let's keep looking around in here. This part is actually, like, this part's not bad. It also, like, I guess, breaks up the issues of me constantly talking about the inaccurate law of this. Oh, there's a spot right here, though. Perfectly normal office desk. The chief had a very particular policy about office decor. So I'm big on stuff the clients use, but keep your own stuff simple. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad policy. Especially when you're a small firm. Alright, we need to slide a little more. So I need to go back now. We're gonna move. Back to the law offices. That girl just now. Where'd she go? Put her right there on that sofa. Uh-oh. I hope she didn't run on me. Yipes! Don't scare me like that. Excuse me, but who are you? It's okay. I work here. Maya Fey. Maya Fey? Maya! So Mia was writing this girl's name. Maybe I should show her the receipt. Never thought there'd be a use for evidence like this outside the courtroom. I'm gonna explore. I want to explore a little bit. Did I roll them as I can before I start talking? Couldn't cram more legal books in here, even if you wanted to. I feel that on a very personal level. Takes a look back at my bookshelf entirely of legal books. You can gaze upon the shelves without feeling insignificant. Yeah, that's fucking fair. That's fucking fair. All right. A small writing desk cluttered with office supplies. The reception desk. I usually sit here. I feel that being the young guy, being the new guy on the totem pole. I feel that for you, there, Phoenix. Door to the chief's office. It's slightly open. I better not touch the doorknob. Yeah, you really shouldn't, because that's a good way to get someone else to go. What's going on here? This sofa is for clients. It's leather, a real luxury model. A large painting. I guess you'd call this modern art. I, on the other hand, call it a mistake. I feel you on that, Phoenix. I'm not fond of modern art. Some people like it. I am just not one of those people. All right. Let's go talk to her. What happened? She seems to be in shock. I don't want to disturb her, but I have to know. Oh. Hey, Divisor Zero, how are things going? Excuse me? Can you tell me what happened? I came in, the room was dark, and Sis... So she was already dead. You and the chief... So, you're the chief's... sister. I'm her younger sister. Ah, well, I hope that the attorney tearing apart Phoenix Wright makes it more interesting for you. And you were here visiting this late at night? Yes, she said she wanted me to keep some evidence for her. Evidence? Yes, it was that clock. It was the thinker. Alright, so I want to present her with the receipt. Because I want to ask some questions on that first. Before Mia died, she wrote a message with her own blood. She wrote it on the back of this receipt. That's my name! Why would she write my name? Please, just calm down. Things that never let anyone calm ever. Why would Sis write my name? Uh-oh. Now I've done it. The police! Sounds like they're coming this way. Freeze! Police! Alright, I'm Detective Dick Gumshoe, you see? that's actually a good name for a detective. Gumshoe, what an odd name. We received a report from the building across the way, see? Got a person saying they saw a murder. Must have been that woman I saw. Anyway, I don't want either of you moving 1 inch, okay? Great. Just great. Maya, wait, she couldn't have... Nah. Whoa! Excuse me! Eek! This word Maya here mean anything to you? That's my name. What? The victim drew this here note in her own blood, see? With her dying breath, she wrote down the killer's name. Killer? I'm not. Case closed. You're coming down to the precinct, ma'am. What? Mia's younger sister, Maya, was arrested on the spot. I was taken in for questioning and didn't get out until the next morning. My eyes were heavy, but I couldn't sleep. I sat around, waiting for visiting hours to begin at the detention center. I had to talk to Maya as soon as possible. September 6th, 9:07 a.m. Detention center, visitor's room. Wow, they have poor Maya locked up like a criminal. Oh? It's you! The lawyer! It is the lawyer. Good morning. Good morning. She looks so tired. Are you going to be my attorney? Well, that's what I want to talk to you about. So, it's a situation like this. Like, you can certainly, as a lawyer, say, no, I don't want to take your case. And, like, there have been cases that I've taken where I chose to not take because it was gonna be more headache than it was worth. But generally, it's gonna be up to your client. Like, first off, like, if a client is looking for you, there's a good chance they're gonna ask you to be their attorney. And I mean, a lot of attorneys give like a free consultation depending on what you do. But there have only been a handful of times where I actually have turned someone down today. No, I don't think I can represent you in this. One of them was actually due to a conflict. I had represented, it was in a housing matter, I had represented his tenant beforehand. And I was like, hey, I can't take this. This is a conflict for me. And the other time was just with a client who was just a real pain. And I was like, no, I'm gonna work my butt off for this. It's not gonna give me any money, and it's not gonna be worth it to me. Because he would want to be micromanaged involved the whole time. But like generally, if I'm an attorney, I'm probably gonna take the case. So you know what? But it's always up to the client. It's up to you. I better give it to her straight. It's up to you. Up to me? Yes. I don't think this is something I should decide. After all, you're the one in trouble here. That's good on Phoenix there, because it should be your obligation as your client, the attorney, is to zealously represent your client. And I would want my client to want me to be their attorney. They're never going to believe me, are they? Even you, when you found me in the office, you looked at me like I had done it. Did I look at her like that? No, I never thought. It's okay. I understand. And I've also heard about you. Heard what about me? I was talking to my sister on the phone the other day. Today was my junior partner's first time in court. Wow, really? How'd that go? It was quite the scene. Honestly, I was on the edge the whole time. It's been a while. Ha! So he crashed and burned? He's a genius. One of those strike fear in the hearts of evil types. The only thing he's lacking is experience. Ha! Sounds like it was fun. Well, I know who to go for if I ever get in trouble now. I don't know, Maya. I think you might want to wait. Give him 3 more years. That is, unless you want to be found guilty. Wow! Jeez! That's what she said. ... I'm sorry! I didn't mean to insult you! No, it's okay. It's true, I guess. But at the same time, I can't just sit by and watch. When I think of the person who did this to Mia... I know! Well, I See what I can examine here. There's probably not a lot. Smile for the camera. This guard monitors the visitor's room. He hasn't moved an inch. A real pro, this guy. Is there anything else? I'm not convinced there's anything else for me to really look at over here now. But I want to get everything I can. Oop, that was the wrong button. So let's... No, I'm not going all the way there. Wrong button. I keep wanting to hit exit to get away. That's not the right button. Let's see, what did you know about this? I wanted to ask you about the murder weapon. Poor sis. Better not ask about her about this now. That's fair. See if I can ask her about the receipt. I'm sure that's something I can't really ask. Remember that receipt? You mean the one with my name on it? Any idea why she... Absolutely none. Do you trust me? Yeah. I trust you. I trust you. Why? Don't you think I did it too? No, I don't. It's just a hunch, but... That detective thinks I did it. I don't think she has any evidence on this. Or any information on that. Just lying next to the chief's body. I saw that too. They said they thought those were pieces of a broken light stand. Yeah, that seems about right. Though I'd never have heard of a glass light stand before this. That's fair. Alright, let's just talk to her. Let's talk to Maya. There's something we wanted to ask you. Yes? What's with that outfit? Oh, this? This is what all acolytes wear. It's my uniform, you could say. Acolytes? Like people in a religious training? What is it that you do? Oh, it's nothing strange, really. I'm a spirit medium. In training. A spirit medium? I'm pretty sure that qualifies as strange. I mean... It's unorthodox, but strange might be a little far there, Phoenix. Let's talk about the day of the crime. Tell me about the day of the murder. Yes! Let's see. That morning I got a call from my sister. She wanted me to hold on to a piece of evidence for an upcoming trial. Evidence? Yeah, that clock shaped like the Thinker. The one Larry made? How could that have been evidence in a case? Right. She said something about that. I remember. Do you want to hear it in her own voice? Her own voice? Yes! I'm pretty sure our conversation is on my cell phone. You recorded it? Yeah! I forgot how to delete those things. What about the cell phone? So, you say you have a conversation with your sister on your cell phone. Let's hear it. Right! Oh, I just remembered. That detective took my cell phone. Sorry. Oh, right. Of course. Next time I see Detective Gumshoe, I'll ask him for it. I'll write you a note so you don't forget, okay? Sure, thanks. Maya's memo added to the court record. Something about the day of the crime, Lenore. Something about the day of the murder. Sorry, I know it must be hard. No, it's okay. All I've been doing the last few hours is talking about it. I've kind of gotten used to it. Let's see, that morning I got a call from my sister. She wanted me to hold on to a piece of evidence for an upcoming trial. That's the clock that Larry made. And it practically qualifies as a serial murderer by now. That's actually pretty funny. So then, when did you arrive at the office? It was right around 9? The lights were off, and I could smell blood. Then I found her. My sister. Thanks, Maya. That's all I need to hear for now. So let's talk about spirit mediums, because that's interesting. So you're an acolyte, or medium in training. That's right. The Faith family, especially the women, have always been very sensitive to the spirit world. Cool. Wait a second. You said the Faith family. So he was into this stuff too? Of course. She left the mountain to follow her career, she said. Her powers were first class too. I had no idea. Wait. What? So, you're a real, honest-to-goodness spirit medium with ESP and all that? Yes. In training. Well, can't you contact Mia's spirit then? We can just ask her who killed her. I'm sorry. I'm still in training. I couldn't do something on that level. Also, good luck having that actually count in court. I mean, like, so... In theory, a medium... Well, a medium could always testify as a lay witness, but I guess, like, in theory, a medium could... Again, you have to prove this. You have to tell the judge how this would be reliable, and you could, I guess, potentially have them, like, speak on what they heard from a spirit realm. I think that'd be a real bad idea as an attorney, because that could make your client lose grip, because a layperson in the jury might think they're just crazy completely, and will just discount them entirely. But, like, in theory, you could have a medium testify as... You could always have a medium testify on as an expert on, like, what mediums do. But to actually have, like, let them talk to spirits on the stand, that might, well, this is not Salem. Spectral evidence is no longer allowed in court. Something the matter? I was wondering, can I ask you a favor? This is the address of a famous lawyer. My sister gave me this a long time ago. Said if I was ever in trouble, I should call him. And, well, I'm in trouble. Think you could go ask him to represent me? I mean, I sure could ask him. Sure, why not? I'll go ask. Thank you so much! I have no one else to turn to. Say, what about your parents? ... I see. Don't worry. Leave it to me. Thank you. The trial's tomorrow at 10. What? Tomorrow? Okay. Hold up. Objection. Again, as I've said countless times before, a trial would not move this fast. You would not have a trial 2 days after a murder. Because even if you think you have your person, you have like a bail hearing, you have a whole bunch of things you have to get together, and you have attorneys who represent, attorneys who need time to get everything together. So, like, the timeline on this is so wrong. Tomorrow. What if this guy refuses? It's only if I don't find one, the state will pick an attorney to defend me. That's... Okay, so that's not correct, but it's not incorrect. So, again, I'm going on America law here. In America, you have a right, anytime a liberty interest is at stake, to have an attorney. And if you cannot find an attorney will be... You can ask for an attorney to be appointed to you, which usually goes to the Public Defender Service. So, like, that is true. Now, sometimes, like, if you have... Like, if the state picks someone and it's just, like... It's not a good fit, like, they don't do what they need to, you can file a motion with the court as a pro se person, say, hey, I don't think my counsel is doing the right thing here, and you have a motion, you have like a motion to withdraw counsel type hearing that comes up. That happens actually not regularly per se, but it happened quite a few times when I work habeas, and like you are not necessarily entitled to have an attorney of your choice represent you, but if an attorney can't be found, then one is appointed. So, you know, actually good on you there, Phoenix, right? That's not incorrect. When will that happen? They give me until 4 p.m. this afternoon. Visiting hours are almost up. I better hurry. Right, I'll be back. Alright, so we're gonna go back. And now we're gonna go move. We're gonna go to Grossberg Law Offices. So we're gonna go head over there. September 6th, Grossberg Law Offices. According to the receptionist, the big boss is out. She couldn't say when he'd be back. Must be hard to keep track of everything when you're a famous lawyer. Not to mention run an office like this. Guess I'll just have to come back later. Let's just examine around a little bit. Cool little painting. That painting's been bugging me since I stepped in here. Oil paint is so thick it's practically giving me a stuffed nose. I'm sure the price is nothing to sneeze at either, for that matter. Probably not. A table for clients. An elegant ebony case, and if I'm not mistaken, that lighter's made of solid gold. Even I can tell someone here's got money to burn. Yeah, listen, criminal attorneys don't make that much. Civil attorneys, depending on what you do, you might, but a criminal attorney, unless you're like a big one with like huge, massive clients, like, you know, like your Gateses and things like that, a criminal attorney's not going to make that much. An expensive potted plant. No idea what kind of plant it is, but it's probably the most expensive one available. This guy is a douchebag. A solid mahogany. A mahogany desk. The wood's been polished to a deep luster. And it's made of mahogany. That's a Dragon Ball Z abridged reference for anyone who used to watch that. Expensive-looking mahogany bookshelves filled with expensive-looking books? Funny. They don't look like they've ever been read. Yeah, that's probably fair. Alright. So has everything been explored in here? I kinda don't like this guy. He seems like a douchebag. It looks like everything's been explored in here. Actually, check the court record really quick. So, this is why I need to get that cell phone to talk to the guy about. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. Which will be something I'll end up doing when I get the chance to actually go and talk to the police officer. All right. Man, I keep hitting the wrong button. God. Oh God, I apologize. I just have the bad gives the hiccups right now. All right. Okay, so nothing else for us to look at. Alright. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually head back to the law office really quick, just to see if there's anything I didn't have there. Huh. Hey, you there! This is a crime scene, pal. No trespassing. Sorry, don't I know you from somewhere? Wait, you're that Butts guy, aren't you? No, Phoenix Wright. How could anyone mistake me for Larry? Ah, I guess I got the wrong name, Mr. Wright. Sorry about that. That Butts guy, he was a killer. You're no killer, right? He was proven innocent, which... You're not proven innocent in a criminal trial. You're proven not guilty. Right, and you were... Detective Suede Shoes, Detective Gumtree, Detective Gumshoe. Gumshoe, wasn't it? Dick Gumshoe? Right, at your service. Hang on, that's Detective Gumshoe to you, pal. Anyway, get the name right. Don't go calling me Dick. Hey, Dick, get over here. Yes, sir. Be right there. God, I apologize for the hiccups, guys. You're her lawyer, right, pal? If you got business here, you better do it quick. Phew, he thinks I'm Maya's lawyer. So a little bit of examining around. Oh, hey, a plant to look at. Mia's favorite potted plant. Whoever had this bizarre name no one could ever remember. Cordeline Stricta, pal. Who was that? An old movie poster. Apparently, this was the first movie that made Mia cry when she saw it. I'll have to check it out one of these days. Mia's desk. Perfectly clean as always. The only thing it's missing is Mia. Aw, poor guy. The sky is blue, and so am I. There's that hotel right across the way. That hotel's probably important. There's a horrendous amount of legal books here. I feel that. Oh, I also feel that. Scarier still is that Mia probably read all of these. Yeah, I have my massive, as I mentioned before, my massive shelf of legal books back there that I was required to read all of. God, I do apologize for the hiccups, guys. That's not intentional. Alright, so let's go talk. Let's talk to this guy first. Talk about Mia. about Miss Fade. Did you do an autopsy? Want to know the results, eh? Now don't you look at me like that, pal. It's no use. She might have been your boss, but that doesn't mean you get any special treatment. Alright, you can see the report, but that's all. Yeah, I would expect I could see the report. Mia's autopsy report. Time of death, 9/5 at 9 p.m. Cause single blunt force trauma. Death was instantaneous. Oh. Autopsy report added to the court record. About Maya. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the trial. Sorry, pal, but this is one trial you aren't gonna win. Why do you say that? The city's put Prosecutor Edgeworth on the prosecution. Edgeworth? I'm sure you know what that means, you being a lawyer and all. Prosecutor Edgeworth. That's right, pal. Mr. Miles Edgeworth himself. Wait, you do know him, don't you? Of course I do. I know him. He's a feared prosecutor. He doesn't feel pain. He doesn't feel remorse. Oh boy. He won't stop until he gets his guilty verdict. Ah, don't talk about him that way. You make him barely sound human. So I'm afraid this pretty much decides the case. So Edgeworth is on this one. He hasn't lost a case since he became prosecutor at the incredibly young age of 20. Hold up. Hold up. So again, now it depends where you're at. Technically in California, you can not go to law school. You can pass the bar because you go through like an apprenticeship type program. But in almost every jurisdiction, you're required to go through law school. Which means this guy would have had to graduate from undergrad by age 16, 17. Because he would have had to graduate high school by roughly age 12. Now again, that's not gonna happen. Unless you're really, really good. But no, like in most states you're required to go to law school to even take the bar. So that he became a prosecutor at the age of 20, that means either he was just way early or he never actually went to law school. And, I guess if you never went to law school and you passed the bar, that's impressive, but I don't know if this takes place in California. Of course, there are rumors of back alley deals and forged evidence. Yeah, I believe that. All I know for sure is Edgeworth hates crime with an almost abnormal passion. I never imagined I'd be facing him so soon. Yeah, money can in fact grease gears. So I want to present him. I want to present him the memo. See if he lets me get a copy of that. I was wondering, did you see Maya Faye's cell phone? Oh, that. I have that. Think you could give it back? Sure, I mean, wait a second, pal. Tricky lawyer. Uh-oh, he's on to me. Yeah, I'll tell him straight. If I tell him what I want, there's no way he'll give it to me. Well, he'd be required to. Something the matter? Oh, no, it's just, detective. Nope, I know nothing, pal. That cell phone has a lot of numbers on it, like her boyfriend's. Cell phone holds all a little girl's sweetest and spiciest secrets. You're trying to confuse me. Sorry, pal, I already checked all the numbers in memory. Impressive, you're quite the detective. Uh-huh. Oh, here, you can have the phone back. There weren't any suspicious call recordings in there, after all. Seems he didn't notice the recorded conversation. My cell phone received from Detective Gumshoe. Check the court record to hear the recorded conversation. Check the court record. Alright, let's check it. Alright. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Mia, well, actually, there's something I want you to do. Hold on. I need you to hold on to for me. Again, what is it this time? It's a clock. It's made to look like the statue of the thinker, and it tells you the time. I should probably tell you, the clock isn't talking right now. Huh, it's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out. Sorry, I put some papers inside instead. Papers, is that the evidence then? I'll leave that one up to your imagination. See you tonight at 9. Alright. So we have that. Alright, so let's check some of the profiles we have. We have Mia Fey, age 27. Victim, chief attorney at Fey & Co. Law Offices and an excellent defense lawyer. Maya Fey, the defendant. Oh man, age 17. Mia's little sister and a spirit medium in training. Dick Gumshoe, age 30. Detective at the local precinct in charge of the initial investigation. And Miles Edgeworth, a gifted prosecutor and a ruthless man who'd do anything to get a guilty verdict. Here's what we have for the evidence. Murder weapon. Looks like a statue. Is actually the clock. The glass shards. The receipt that has my name on it. Conversation between Mia and Maya. And the autopsy report. Except that's all the questions I need to. Yup. Y'all done, pal? Yes, thank you. I'll be heading out now. Oh, wait. One more thing I wanted to mention to you. I don't suppose you're planning on talking to that witness. Anyway, you better not. No influence in the witness with your lawyerly ways, pal. You gotta talk to the witness, though. Come on, man. Oh, that one's okay. That one, yeah, I probably wouldn't want to talk to her until the hearing, because you could potentially get hit for like trying to adjust. Now, you could get like a deposition, which is a big step in which basically everything is sworn, it's recorded, it's typed out, everyone gets a copy of it. Depos are really important, particularly in like personal injury cases, so you get depositions a lot. The witness, yeah, Miss April May. I'm sorry about this, but I can't tell you anything about her. Well, you just told me her name. Miss May. Miss May, huh? So you've sent her home already, then? Yeah, you're trying your lawyerly tricks on me now. She's not to go outside her room until the trial. So she's telling the hotel across the way. I guess I should know better than to try and get a detective to leak information. You got that right, pal. Time to pay a visit to Miss May. April May, age 23, an eyewitness to the events, testifies that she saw Maya commit the murder. Alright. Let's go. Let's actually... Let's see, is there anything I have to examine anymore? Nope, doesn't look like that. I already talked to him. I don't really have anything I want to present to him. I don't think this is going to be helpful at all. There's broken glass at the crime scene, right? Oh, that. Seems like a glass stand next to the victim fell over. The glass shards were pieces of the broken stand. I was wondering, do you know anything about this? That statue? That's the murder weapon. Huh? He thinks the clock is just a statue, too? I'm starting to wish I'd never seen this thing. As soon as I could present that to him, there was a piece of paper next to the victim, wasn't there? Yeah, the one with the killer's name written on it. Are you sure that Mia wrote it herself? Given the condition of the writing, it's hard to say if it's her handwriting or not. So there's no proof that Mia wrote it. Seems like giving my attorney's badge. What's that? Sorry, pal, but I got no info for the likes of you. I was just curious on that one. Thanks for this. Don't mention it, pal. When it comes to dealing with lawyers, fight fair and square is our motto. I don't know how I feel seeing everything written up like this. Makes Mia's death seem so... routine. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Scarlett's like, no, I should not have this evidence. I really shouldn't. That should be with the court. And I think that was my issue when I didn't give Larry the clock earlier, because I was like, no, this is evidence. And I was in lawyer brain. I'm really sorry about the hiccups, guys. I'm really sorry about that. Alright, I think I've pretty much got everything I can out of him. So let's, anything I can talk to him? Nope, nothing else to talk to him with. Keep hitting the wrong button. I guess let's go to the hotel. September 6th, Gatewater Hotel, room 303. Well, hello there, handsome. Hi. Smooth, right? Real smooth. You're the lawyer, aren't you? Oh man, I I need to have like a real like ooh go rules for this. You're the lawyer, aren't you? The detective told me. He said don't say nothing to that lawyer, pal. Teehee. My note of self. Thank Detective Gumshoe for making my job harder. Gee, this is all like something out of a movie. It's all so exciting, I can hardly contain myself. Ooh, let me go freshen up so I can look the part of the beautiful eyewitness. I paid the lawyer that has to cross-examine this one. Let's look around. Oh, what, so you don't want me to go like a... Ooh-woo! Oh, well! Oh, no! There's a screwdriver stuck in this drawer. I wonder what's inside. Let's take a look. Hey! Hey! What are you doing? No touching! Ooh! Oh, I don't like this one. Oh, and that eye twitch is... Oh, bad boy. You really shouldn't pry around other people's rooms now. You wouldn't want to make me upset, would you? Upset? I thought she was going to explode for a second there. I wonder what could be inside the drawer. Let's examine a little bit more, shall we? Ah, a still scene painting. Wait, should that be still life? Whatever. One of those hanging on the wall. Thank you, Phoenix. You are a master of phrasing things. The flowers are fake, as expected. I know sunflowers and tulips. That's about the extent of my floral knowledge. Late summer sunlight streams through the window. There's the Faye and Kolob's built. Of course. You can see the inside of the room pretty clearly from here. I think it'll be a little difficult to recognize a face from this distance, though. The bottle and 2 glasses are on the table. Somebody must be staying with her. A simple bed. It's been recently made. Nothing eye-catching here. I like the music. I like the music quite a bit. Theme song music is good. What's inside, I wonder? Maybe later. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that's probably not going to be a good bet for me to check right now. Alright, looks like that's everything I can examine in here. So let's go talk to her. Let's talk about what you witnessed. You think you could tell me something? I need you to describe what you observed at the time of the incident. Oh, observed. Incident? You sound just like a lawyer in the movies. I like a man with a big vocabulary. Gulp. Better not encourage her. You know that thing that happened the other day, the bad thing? What did you see when it happened? I don't suppose you could tell me about it, pretty please? Let me see, well... Dream on! If you want to know, you'll just have to come to court tomorrow, Mr. Lawyer. Oh boy. Could you just... Who exactly are you? Oh, Mr. Lawyer, are you hitting on me? No, I'm really expressly not. No, hey, I'm just doing my job here. You know you're cute when you blush. Oh, whoa. Believe me, this is the first time in my life I've blushed this much. Right, can you just tell me what it is that you do? Actually, Hiccup's actually working really well for this specific scene. Well... No, teehee! You had your little hopes up, didn't you? Oh boy. I see there are 2 glasses on the table. Is someone staying here with you? Oh, what amazing powers of observation! You must be one of those famous detectives! Like on television! Oh no, not me. I'm just a lawyer. That's a mood, Phoenix. That's a goddamn mood. Say, Mr. Big Detective, why don't you go look for clues in the garbage, Miss May doesn't like nosy little lawyers. Oh boy. Alright, well I'm not getting anything more from her. what can I present to her a little bit right now? I'm just curious if I present this to her, what'll happen. Excuse me, but I'm a witness, police witness. You understand. How could I possibly give you any information in good conscience, Me, the witness. Just like in the movies. Excuse me, but I'm a witness. Alright. I'm not gonna get any more of this. Probably not, but I'll try one more thing. Yeah, I'm not getting any more from this. Alright. Well, I don't think I have anything else to really examine here. So let's go ahead and head back. Let's try that lawyer's office again. Seems like Mr. Grossberger's out. Well, maybe I should just wait here for him to come back. If that wasn't the most over-the-top clearing of throat I've ever heard. Sorry. Oh my god. You look like Andy Reid. So you're the one they say has been looking for me. Yes, that's me. He looks even grander than I imagined. This is like a combination of, like, Andy Reid, the one guy from Danganronpa, and a walrus. That badge on your collar! Aha, so you're a lawyer, are you now? Yes, well, yes. And what do you want? I'm not particularly busy these days. Please proceed. Not busy? How come no one could get in touch with you? Something the matter? You came to see the one and only Marvin Grossberg, did you not? Well, here I am. Boy, what do you want? Out with it. Well, sir, actually it's about Maya Fey. Oh. Yes, Maya Fey, go on. Why this strange reaction? Cha-cha! I'm really quite busy here, son. I can't go taking cases on a day's notice. No, it's quite impossible. Wait a second. How did you know the trial was tomorrow? Anyway, I'm afraid it's entirely impossible for me to represent her. Sorry, end of discussion. What's going on? He refused me even before I got a chance to ask him. What do I tell Maya? Let's examine a bit in here in case there's anything more that I hadn't seen last time. No, everything is there. God, I keep hitting the wrong button. Let's talk. No refusal. How can you just refuse like that? Please, tell me why you won't take the case. Oh, well, you see, it's just, I'm busy, you see. But the client is Mia Fey's sister. Mia trusted you. She knew her sister would be in good hands. Yes, of course. I know that. However, I'm sorry, but I must refuse. Sorry, goodbye. Creep. Fine. I don't have time to argue with you anyway. I'll go look elsewhere. Grumble. Think not. Huh, did you say something? I think not. I said... What do you mean? I'm terribly, terribly sorry. But I'm afraid that no lawyer worth their salt will take on this particular case. Terribly sorry, my boy. Why? I cannot say. I beg your pardon, but could you leave now? I have nothing more to discuss with you. What's going on here? How'd you know Mia Fey? She worked here a long time ago. Quite the apprentice, that one. Learned my techniques in the blink of an eye. She left one day, quite suddenly. She had a mission, you see. A mission? You could see it in her eyes. She followed it with a burning passion. Never looked back, that one. Look at that painting. That's, quite a painting. Aha! You noticed. It's my pride and joy. Impressive, isn't it? Well, isn't it? The color of the sky, the hue of the sea, the weave of the straw hat. It's worth at least 3 million. I have no intention of parting with it, of course. No, I won't sell it, not even to you. I wasn't interested. It's not for sale. I'm not buying. Jeez. Seems anything I can present to him. Here's if I show my defense thing. I'm just curious. Very sorry, but I've got nothing to say regarding this matter. I wonder if he actually doesn't have anything to say. Let's look at some profiles, though. A veteran defense attorney and Mia's mentor, Marvin Grossberg. Alright. Let's see, is there anything on that? Very sorry, but I've not... Okay. You're gonna be a dead end. Alright, well, I guess I should move. It's the detention center. September 6th, 3:42 p.m. Detention center visitors room. Oh, great. 18 minutes until she needs to get her attorney. Hiya. Oh, you're back. Did you find the lawyer? Well, what do I tell her? Well, see, just be honest. I really don't think you should use that guy. He didn't seem healthy. He was all skin and bones. Well, rip. What really happened? See ya, Zero. You don't mean he refused to help? I see. I've been abandoned then. Well, you know what? Let's talk about the family. What about your family? I only had my sister. My father died when I was very young, and I don't know where my mother is. Don't know? She could still be alive? The women in my family have been mediums for generations. They say a lot of spiritual powers runs in our blood. About 15 years ago, our family was involved in an incident. There was a man, and he ruined our mother's life. Ruined? After that, she disappeared. Several years after that, my sister announced she would become a lawyer, and she left the mountain. So, you live by yourself? Yes, I've gotten used to it. Oh, also, I had to become independent, or I would lose my powers. I feel bad for her, all by herself up on that mountain. Talk about the mother's enemy. So who is this man who, ruined your mother? About 15 years ago, there was an unusual murder case. It made quite a stir, everyone was talking about it. Apparently, police were running out of leads, and they were getting desperate. Wait, they didn't use a spirit medium? Did they? The police convinced my mother to try to contact the victim. Wow, so what happened? The case was solved, we thought. You thought. The man my mother helped the police capture was innocent. The police's consultation with the medium had all been carried out in secret, of course. But the man found out about it and leaked it to the press. He told all the papers that my mother was a fraud, and the media jumped on it big time. My mother became the laughingstock of the nation. I see. White. Excuse me. White? That was his name. My sister told me. White. Just a little longer now before the state-appointed lawyer comes, I guess. ... 4 p.m. Time's up. What should I do? Do I just leave her and go home? I will defend her. I made up my mind. I'm going to defend you whether you want me to or not. Oh, that's an issue. Client's the one who should have the say on that one. Oofs. Why? Why? Well, someone else is the culprit. You aren't the culprit. Someone else is. How do you know? I have a hunch. Given the evidence, it would be easy to assume that Maya was the killer. But there's something about this whole thing that smells fishy. That witness's strange behavior, was that all an act? And the way that lawyer refused to help out Maya. But more than all that, she has no one left to help her. Nothing is more sad or more lonely than that. I know, I've been there a long, long time ago. Why did I become a lawyer in the first place? Because someone has to look out for the people who have no one on their side. Maya? I won't abandon you. You can count on me. ... That's so kind of you. Sniff. Well, Let's fight this one and get you out of here. Right, thank you! Phew, she smiled at least. She looks like an entirely different person. One last question. You are innocent, right? Yes, and I trust you. So you trust me too, okay? It's a deal. So, what's next? There's something that's been bugging me. Just what was inside that strange woman's drawer? It was when I tried to look into the drawer that she got all defensive. There has to be something in there. Alright. Alright, so... Oh, I hit the wrong... I guess I didn't necessarily mean to present that. I want to present that. Hey, I got your cell phone back. Oh, say, can I listen to my sister's voice? Maya's eyes closed. She listened to every word with such intensity. Before long, tears began to roll down her cheeks. Thank you. I'm gonna also present her the autopsy. Sorry, I've never seen that before. Oh, okay. Alright, well, I think... At this point, I think I need to go back to the Gatewater Hotel. Seems like the place to go. Oh, good afternoon, sir! Excuse me, you are... Ah, I beg your pardon, sir. I am the bellboy of this establishment at your service, sir. Oh, right. I just come up to deliver room service, sir. Do you know where Miss May might be? I believe our guest, Miss May, is currently using the, facilities. If you don't need of anything, I'll be taking my leave. Please stay as long as you'd like. Enjoy! Yeah. Wait, no. Hey! Why does it seem like every time I come here, I end up embarrassing myself? Wait, now's my chance to snoop around a bit. That's a crime. I almost forgot. You came back quick. Might I ask you to inform Miss May that there is a message for her? Please tell her that Mr. White of Blue Corporate phoned. Oh, right, sure. Mr. White of Blue Corp? Where have I heard that name? White. That was his name. My sister told me. White was the name of the guy who ruined me and Maya's mother. Could it be a coincidence? There's a screwdriver sticking out of that half-open drawer. Now's my chance to see what's inside. What do we have here? Ah, wiretap? What would a woman like her be doing with a thing like this? Wiretap added to the court record. There's definitely something suspicious about this Miss May. Why would she have something like this in her hotel room? There's a story behind all this, I know it. Alright. I'll be using this bit of evidence in tomorrow's trial, that's for sure. For Maya's sake. I'll get this to the woman's bottom. I'll get to this woman's bottom. Wait, I mean... Oh, Phoenix. Phoenix. Woof. Oh, bellboy! Still there? Uh-oh, time to scram. I look forward to tangling with you tomorrow, Miss May. In court! To be continued. Saving content? Yeah, let's save the progress. Alright, we're gonna save over that. September 7th, 10 a.m., District Court. Oh yeah, I'm going to. That is absolutely not legal. Because you can't commit a crime to get evidence. That's a big thing. But again, this is real law and not Phoenix Wright law, even though Phoenix Wright should absolutely be tried as a criminal. September 7th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 1. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth. I better not show any signs of weakness today, or he'll be on me in an instant. Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant... Now, he has to be a little more pretentious. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence she committed this murder.
And we have a witness who saw her do it. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts of this case, Your Honor.
I see. Thank you, Mr. Whitworth. Let's begin, then.
If we may call our first witness, Your Honor. The prosecution calls the chief officer at the scene, Detective Gumshoe. Witness, please state your name and profession to the court.
Sir, my name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm detective in charge of the homicides down at the precinct, sir.
Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the details of this murder.
Very well, sir. Let me use this floor of the office to explain. The body was found by this window here. And the cause of death? Oh, sorry. And the cause of death? Loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object, sir. The murder weapon was a statue of the Thinker found next to the body, sir. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon, even in a girl's hands, sir. Wow. Sexist piece of shit. The court accepts the statue as evidence.
They're still calling it a statue.
Floor plans added to the court record.
Now, Detective.
Yes, sir?
You immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why?
Yes, sir! I had hard evidence she did it, sir!
Detective Gumshoe. Please testify to the court about this hard evidence.
Maya Fey's arrest and witness testimony. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were two people there already. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Why, we had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. The very moment, you say? Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor.
Cross-examine what? I couldn't see a single contradiction in that testimony. Whoosh! Smack! Hey, my just threw something at me. What's this?
My sister couldn't find any contradictions in her witness testimony. She would bluff it and press the witness on every detail. The witness always slips up and says something wrong. So, two things. That's actually a good thing. Like, well, yes and no. So, even if you don't see any contradictions, you can still kind of press. You want to kind of bring up, like, you know, maybe they have a personal stake as to why they want this person to be convicted. Like maybe you can do that to kind of damage their credibility. Alternatively, maybe you just want to, like, get a side about it to, like, so it allows more facts into the record, because you never want to let a witness just completely give the record unless there is just like really basic stuff, because like cross-examination is something you should almost always do unless it's a situation where there's just absolutely nothing there. Like, I think I've only had one case in which there wasn't a cross-examination, and that was just because the person who was there was basically just like essentially, like, they were there just to prove that a record existed. But even still, like, cross-examination is something you will almost always do. Unless, again, there's just absolutely nothing. Like, this here, like, yeah, his facts are pretty good, but they're still slanted in a way. Because you want to kind of, you know, bring up, like, okay, so how do you know this was the time of death? Or, hey, this isn't a statue, this is a clock. Which could just, you know, in a way, make the witness lose a little credibility. Worked lots of times. I should have expected Maya would know some of her sister's tricks. The other thing is, so when you're actually in a hearing, generally your client is next to you, and your client absolutely can pass you notes and things like that. As long as you don't use them into, like, as evidence, they can certainly, like, hey, what about this? Like, there were times, like, when I had co-counsel on a case in which I would pass a note around to say, like, can you bring up this? Or, like, maybe a witness can say, hey, can you bring up the fact that I wasn't there at this time? Something like that. These things that you can kind of do during, like, cross-examination that can help you out. So, like, a note being thrown wouldn't be okay, because that's not good in a courtroom, but, like, a note can absolutely be passed. Alright, let's give this a try. Something the matter? No, Your Honor. I'd like to begin my cross-examination. Maya Fey's arrest. As As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. So let's... Who did you say you got a call from? Hey, pal, don't play dumb. You know who. The call was from a customer at the Gatewater Hotel, right across from the crime scene. Okay. I pressed. Not sure it did much, though. Right, please continue. There were two people there already. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. There's not an immediate arrest. Why's that? What's your reason? Why, we had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. Can't see a single contradiction in there. I'll just have to take Maya's advice and press him on anything suspicious. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There are two people there already. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Miss Phoenix Wright. Or Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Why, we had a witness account describing her. I'll just go press a little bit here. Oh, just 1 second. Yeah? If I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it, correct? Huh? Did I say that? Me? I heard you say it. You did say it. You said it. Exactly what about the suspicious woman is Pink's claim was hard evidence? What? Miss May isn't suspicious, and she sure isn't Pink, pal. Well, I guess she is Pink. That's enough, Detective Gumshoe. Do you have any more solid proof other than her claims, Detective? I guess pressing can have its advantages. Yes! Gah! Sorry, I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honor, sir. There's something I should have told you about first, Your Honor. Very well, Detective. Let's hear your testimony again. Alright, testimony again. Hard evidence. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test results showed the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. How do you like that? That's my hard evidence. Before we begin cross-examination, I have a question for you, Detective. Your Honor? Why did you testify about the vital piece of evidence the first time? I know, I'm a real embarrassed. I forgot about it, Your Honor, sir. Try to be more careful. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Alright, the hard evidence. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. So it's not a memo. This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exactly are that evidence and the statement just now related? They aren't, are they? Not at all. Mr. Wright, please think the facts over before you... Okay, that should have actually been, like... I don't think that won me any points at the judge. But I would have... I tabbed the wrong one. It wasn't a memo. It's a receipt. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does. I don't see anything contradictory. Huh? Really? Objection overruled. It's not a memo. It's a receipt. Whoops, that didn't go so well. Okay, I'm gonna disagree on that one, but... Okay, that shows the victims. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. We don't actually know if that's the killer. Detective Gumshoe. Do you get a lot of cases where the victim actually writes the killer's name? Sure! It happens all the time in books and in the movies. This isn't a movie, Detective. Oof. Let's talk about reality, shall we? Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with the game on that one, because a memo is something distinctly different than a receipt, but that's my opinion. I guess? I haven't heard of many cases, no. Don't you find it a little odd that the victim would write down a name, especially the name of her own sister? Yeah, actually, you got a point, pal. Stop right there. The witness's opinion on the matter is irrelevant. The facts are clear. The victim wrote down the name of the accused. The victim told us the name of her killer. Order! Order! That didn't go so well. That's right. What he said. It's his whole testimony? Okay, there has to be a contradiction there somewhere. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. Alright, there's that. Okay, okay, well let's look at that. Look at this. So what I could possibly do is I could potentially, bring up that. Alright, the autopsy report. Alright. So let's go start from the start of this. Let's bring up the scene. Let's present that. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Huh? Really? Objection overruled. Try thinking before. Huh. Okay, so I would have used that. Yeah, that's right up. That's true. Okay, let me keep looking through here. I'm getting a little worried. Yep. I hear they take the little bits in the blood, the hermogoblins, hermogoblin bobbin. I'm just testifying this matter, pal. I'm no expert on blood tests. Yes, that was quite clear. You may continue with your testimony. Detective Gumshoe, yeah? I look forward to your next evaluation, as should you. Oh. That was a mess. Right, where was I? Alright, so let's take a look at that autopsy again. Okay, death was instantaneous. There we go. That is a big one. So let's alright, let's bring up that autopsy report. Detective Gumshoe, there's one thing I want you to clarify for me here. You say that the victim, Mia Fey, wrote this note, that she was accusing the defendant, Maya Fey. That's really what you're saying? What? This isn't one of those lawyer tricks now, is it? Of course she wrote it. Who else could have? You have it backwards, Detective. Backwards? The victim is the only person who absolutely could not have written it. This is a report from your department, Detective. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. She died immediately. But no butting your way out of this one, Detective. Order! Order! The defense has a point. Someone who died immediately wouldn't have had the time to write anything down. Mr. Wright, I beg your pardon, but when exactly did you obtain that autopsy report? When? It's the day after the murder. It was the day after the murder. The prosecution's point being... that autopsy report is outdated, Your Honor! No. What? A second autopsy was performed yesterday, at my request. This was almost immediate due to a blow from a blunt object. First off, you would be required... a lawyer would you are required to give evidence that you were going to put into court. If there was a second autopsy, I would be required to get that. There is a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. No way! Your Honor,
It's quite easy to imagine the victim did have time to write Maya. That is all. I see. Damn you, Edgeworth. I should have known you'd have something up your sleeve. Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked. Something you want to say? I would love to say I'm a sham, but... I want to say he's a sham, but that you can't do that in court, so I'm gonna go through this. Detective Gumshoe, you're a sham. How could you give me a faulty report? Huh? I thought... Detective Gumshoe? I'm disappointed in you, handing him the wrong report like that. Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. You are at fault, Detective. This isn't going to look good on your evaluation next month. What? But... Your Honor, I submit this report to the court. Understood. The court accepts the evidence. Alright, autopsy report updated in the court report. Died from a blunt object, may have lived for a few minutes after being hit. Well, Your Honor, the evidence strongly suggests the victim was identifying the killer. So that's the obvious conclusion, yes? Darn, this isn't good. The prosecution would like to call its next witness. This poor innocent girl saw the murder with her own eyes. Would the witness, Miss April May, take the stand? We're gonna take a little bit of break during this here, just before she takes the stand, because I need to get a little bit of water from my throat. And so yeah, we'll take a little break, and I will be back here shortly. Alright, we are just about back. Alright, we are back. Alright, so let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand. exactly what part of her is innocent. Tee-hee! Witness, your name, please. April May, at your service. Wink!
Order. Introduction should not require any reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from wanton winking. It's kind of an interesting thing for a judge to say.
Aw, yes, Your Honor.
This is not good. She's already captured the heart of every man in this courtroom.
Tell us, where were you on the night of September 5th when the murder occurred? I was, in my hotel room, tee. I checked in right after lunch. And this hotel is directly across from the Fay & Co. law offices. That's right, big boy.
Please testify to the court about what you saw. That poor judge. Witness testimony.
It was like 9 at night. I looked out the window, you know. And then, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The one attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Then the woman, dodged to one side and ran away. With that girl, she caught up to her and she hit her. Then the woman with the long hair, she kinda slumped. The end. That's all I saw. Every little bitsy witsy wink. Oh, bitsy witsy wink with awkward boob jiggle. But that's a different thing.
Well, Your Honor, I see. It is a remarkably solid testimony. I don't see a need to trouble the witness any.
Wait, Your Honor!
Yes, Mr. Wright. What about my cross-examination? I thought the witness testimony just now was quite firm. Didn't you?
Mr. Wright, I understand you were Miss Mia Fay's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques well. Her cowardly way of finding tiny faults in perfectly good testimonies.
Hey! How dare you! Well, Mr. Wright, will you cross-examine the witness? Yes, I'm absolutely cross-examining the witness! I'll gladly proceed with the cross-examination. Only because I have a feeling Edgeworth doesn't want me to.
She has to have some weakness.
Very well. You may begin your cross-examination.
Witness's account. It was 9 at night. I looked out the window, you know.
I want to look at any of the testimony we have. So, it's a phone call, broken glass, murder weapon. The wiretap is one, I definitely want to bring that up, because that's certainly a big one. Floor plans aren't going to be helpful right now, so let's...
And then, I saw one with long hair being attacked. The one attacking her was this mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair.
Well, okay.
Then the woman, dodged to one side and ran away.
Well, that... There's an issue there. Because she dodged to one side and ran away. The way the floor plan is you can see the light over here. So if she dodged to one side and ran away, she wouldn't have been able to see that. Alright, but let me keep looking at this. That girl, she caught up to her and she hit her. So I'm going to... Let's look. I don't want to press her on that. Okay, yeah, I'm going to present the floor plan. Because that's one that, she shouldn't be able to see that. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Huh? Really? Objection over... Oh, that's not great. Whoops, that didn't go so well. Because Because, like, the floor plan, like, kind of contradicts that. Let's press a little bit. Ugh. I'll worry about this. Oh, sorry, I should have kept reading. I think pressing I can kind of do anything on, so... Alright, so I want to bring up... Why'd you do that? Huh? Why? Like, why what? Why did you look out the window? Were you expecting to see something? Oh, well, gee. What? That's it? She can't get out of this question that easily. I sort of, you know... I had a feeling. Well, I have a feeling she's trying to avoid the question. Maybe I should press a little harder on this one. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's see how far I can run with this. Surely you must have had a reason to look out your window at that time of night. Ooh... Mr. Wright, I will not have your badgering my witness. Badgering? You insist on needling her with these trivial questions. I really don't think it should be allowed. Oh. Order! Mr. Wright, you have been warned. Poor girl, what about poor me? You looked out the window, what did you see next? Then, ooh, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. Let's press a bit on that. The woman with long hair, that was Mia Fey? Slender, sort of. Well, some people might say pretty, if that's your thing. Your thing? And the person attacking her. The one attacking her was this mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Let's press a little bit on that. How do you know she was the defendant? Huh? Well, you know. She had a girlish physique. Women know these things. Look, I just know, okay? There was only one person at the scene of the crime with a short, girlish figure. Testimony is bulletproof, Your Honor. He's right. Of course, a testimony. Hold on a minute. That testimony stinks. But you wouldn't be that direct. What? Miss May, I'm willing to bet that. You're lying. Are you telling the truth? Did you really see the defendant? Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this? Yes, what is the meaning? Somebody tell me, because I'm clueless. About this, I mean. Okay. If you had really witnessed my client, Maya Fey, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. No one wears clothes like this on a daily basis, except her. And I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness's testimony mentions neither of these things. Testimony is bogus. But... Still, we don't know if she was dressed that way the night of the murder. She was, Your Honor. I saw her. And so did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May? Rawr, what are you trying to say, you mean lawyer? I saw what I saw. I just didn't think all the trifling little details were necessary, darling. Miss May, the court would like to remind you to please omit nothing in your testimony. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl. I promise. Tee-hee. Wink. Testimony again, if you would. Damn, I almost had her. I did see everything. I did! The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it, I did. That clock, that kind of statue-y clock, the thinker, I think. Well, does the accuracy of my report not startle you? I see. I wish you had been so detailed from the very beginning. Please begin the cross-examination. Alright. Okay, did see everything. I'm not going to press her on that, and I'm also running low on things there. So, this one, I'm going to press. Is that right as in your right, as you looked from the hotel? Which hand do I hold my knife in again? Right, it was my right hand, right. Satisfied, Mr. Wright? Please continue. Well, so I'm going to use the floor plans. Because the floor plans prove that that was... Oh, I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. But you I get penalized for that? Like, okay, that's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. The defendants failed to give the court sufficient reason to doubt the prosecution's claim. The court finds the defendant, Miss Maya Fey, guilty. And I'm gonna have to redo that one, because that... I'm thinking like a lawyer. And I think that's my issues. I'm thinking like a lawyer. So let's continue. Because I'm like, no, there's clearly an issue here. Because it's showing it's not going the right way. Yeah, and I'm not gonna... We've already read through all of this, so I'm not going to, I'm not gonna force you guys to read through all this again. Alright, so we're gonna skip as fast as I can around through this. But no, like, the floor map is definitely, like, a key thing. Alright. So let's... Alright, so that... but I think my issue is I'm attacking this the wrong way. I very clearly am. Because... I mean, again, as a lawyer, I think that would have showed that no, she didn't know the floor plan, and because of that, that caused extra issues. Yeah, okay, I've already read through this. So let's go ahead and... First off, let's... I'm just curious if pressing him on this one is. Alright, so this is what I've already... So I get pressing doesn't impact you at all, which I like. So it seems like there's no real reason for me to not. Oh, this is actually important. Right, I'd say about 3 minutes. That's pretty fast. Our motto this month is quick response. That's how I got there before the killer got away. Indeed. Yeah. Again, like, my issue is I'm thinking like a lawyer. Yes, sir. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Let's just push him a little bit. Yeah, just gets him a little messy. Are you absolutely sure it was us? Yeah, that was... Pretty sure it was us. I do find that funny. Yeah, give me arrested, that's true. I'm gonna push on the witness a little bit. Hold on, just 1 second. Yeah? If I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it, correct? Huh? Did I say that? Me? I heard you say it. You did say it. You said it. Exactly what the suspicious woman in Pink's claim was hard evidence. Yeah, I just wanted to see what would happen on that one, because I knew he would see me. This isn't suspicious. She sure isn't Pink, pal. Well, I guess she is Pink. That's enough, Detective Gumshoe. Do you have any more solid proof other than her claims, Detective? I guess pressing can have its advantages. Yes! Gah! Sorry, I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honor, sir. Something I should have told you about first, Your Honor. Yeah, we've read through this already. That's not a memo, because a memo is something very different than a receipt, but... That's, but I'm not getting into that. Yeah, that's probably true, Scar. That is probably very true. Again, I've already read through all this, and I want to save my voice a bit. Alright, so... Alright, so we're gonna present the autopsy report. Because instantaneous death. And again, this has been read already. Alright, and then, you know, the second autopsy, which, I mean, that can happen, but I would have been required to get that first. Yeah, we got this the day after the murder. But yeah, that money that Edgeworth is throwing around. I really don't like Edgeworth. Yep, detective's a sham. Detective Gumshoe's an idiot. He really is. Rip him. But they made him lose some credibility, so that's a pretty good one. The judge would not say that's the obvious conclusion. Like, that's not something he would do. Alright, time for everyone to get that hard evidence from Miss May. Tee-hee! I also like how the judge is also there. Again, this is the witness testimony that we've already gone through. But again, I need to stop thinking like a lawyer on this. You always get the chance to cross-examine. I'm not just gonna say, no, I'm not gonna cross. Yes, I'm absolutely cross-examining the witness. Alright. So let's look at this. It's like 9, I looked out the window. That one didn't really help when I pushed. So let's go press. Oh. Let's go push on that, because that worked pretty well the first time. Hold a minute. Testimony stinks. What? Miss May, I'm willing to bet that... You're lying. Are you telling the truth? Did you really see the defendant? Erp! Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this? Yes, what's the meaning? Somebody tell me, because I'm clueless about this, I mean. Okay. If you had really witnessed my client, Maya Fey, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. Eee? No one wears clothes like this on a daily basis. Except her. And I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness testimony mentions neither of these things. Testimony is bogus. But... Still, we don't know if she was dressed that way the night of. She was, Your Honor. I saw her. And so did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May? Rar, what are you trying to say, you mean lawyer? I saw what I saw! I just didn't think all the trifling little details were necessary, darling. Miss May, the court would like to remind you to please omit nothing in your testimony. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl. I promise. Hee God, I hate her. Testimony again, if you would. Damn, I almost had her. I did see everything. I did! The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it. I did. That clock, the kind of statue-y clock. The thinker, I think. Well, does actually my report not startle you, teehee? I see. I only wish you had been so detailed from the beginning. Please begin the cross-examination. Alright, so let's go push her a bit on this. Alright. I did see everything. I did. I'm not going to push that. The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. That one actually worked really when I pushed a bit on that. So the right is in your right as you look from the hotel. Which hand do I hold my knife in again? Right, it was my right hand, right? Satisfied, Mr. Wright. Please continue. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. How convenient for you to remember her hippie clothes. That's what she was wearing. Oh, and her hair was all done up like a bun. What happened then? And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it. I did. Where did this weapon come from? She picked it up from the desk. I see. What sort of weapon was it? That clock, the kind of statue-y clock, the thinker, I think? How'd you know it was a clock? A clock. Didn't this come up in it? Well, don't look so sour, Mr. Lawyer. You can't win them all. No, but I have a feeling I'm onto something now. That clock, the kind of statue clock, the thinker, I think. Previous testimony must have been what Edgeworth wanted her to say. This was the testimony in her own words. Time to press and squeeze the truth out of her. Figuratively, of course. I did see everything. I did. The victim, dodged first, ran off to the right, then the girl in the hippie clothes. Okay, she hit her with that weapon. I saw I did. Alright. God, I really want to bring up... Okay. So, I just want to push a bit on the I did see everything. I did. I swear. Just a push. So, you saw me then, too? Of course! I'd remember that spiky hair anywhere. Spiky? Witness will refrain from personal attacks on the defense attorney. Aw, was I a bad girl? I'm sorry. Oh god, I hate her. Very well. Continue. The victim, the woman dodged for a second, ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. She hit her with that weapon. I saw it. I did. That clock, the kind of statue clock. The thinker, I think. Alright, so I want to look... Alright, so... I feel like the glass shards could actually be a big thing of the dodge. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But she didn't mention the... She mentioned the broken glass. I disagree. I think they were related because, again, I'm thinking like a lawyer. Let's bring this up. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Huh? Really? Damn it. That didn't go over so well, but like... Yeah, I know, here's my issue, I'm thinking like a lawyer. Because I want that to be involved. The wiretap isn't super useful, at least not yet. Because I don't see it in a way where that can actually, like, do anything to her case. Like, I want to bring up, like, hey, you can't really see from here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the thinker just to present it. Miss May, what you said just now was quite revealing. Revealing? Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you, naughty Mr. Lawyer? You just said the statue of the thinker was a clock. But there's no way of knowing that just by looking at it. Another person in much the same position as you recently called this a clock too, and he was found guilty of murder. Order! Order! Miss May, can you explain how you know this was a clock? Oh, the witness saw the murder with her own eyes. That's all that's important here. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with trivial concerns. Yes, of course. You withdraw your question, Mr. Wright. But questions are all I have, Your Honor. And as you may recall, I've caught murders with these questions before. You wouldn't tell that to a judge. Well, only once. ... Objection sustained. You may continue to question the witness. Phew, that was close. If you stopped me there, the trial would be over. Huh? What? So, what happens now? What happens now is you answer my questions. How'd you know it was a clock? What? That's... because I heard it? Yes, I heard it say the time. So, you've been to the lofts of Fay & Co. No, hey, I didn't say that. Why would I go there? I heard it from my hotel room, hee. Lofts of Fay & Co., where the murder took place, is very close to the hotel. She could easily have heard the clock. Well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied? No, Your Honor. I can't give up now. I'm not satisfied because... she couldn't have heard it. You were at the hotel. There's no way you could have heard a clock go off in the building next door. You have proof that she could not? Amateurs. Listen to me, Mr. Wright. In the courtroom, proof is everything. Without it, you have nothing. You are nothing. And I would like to propose a test to see if she really could have heard. The prosecution denies your request. What? On what grounds? This is a trivial matter with no direct bearing on the case at hand. Indeed, objection sustained. Damn, time to switch directions, quick. Ready to proceed, Mr. Wright? No, Your Honor. I can't give up now. I'm not satisfied because... That's the other option. Your Honor, members of the court. It is inconceivable that the clock in question rang. That clock is missing its clockwork. How could you possibly? Just take a look, right now. Oh. See anything interesting, Your Honor? It is, as the defense says. This clock is missing its clockwork. It's quite empty. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain to the court the meaning of this? As you can see, the clock was empty. It couldn't have rung. Therefore, this witness is a big fat liar. You wouldn't insult a witness like that. Fat? Well, Miss May. Tisk. Quite a show you put on for us, Mr. Wright. He knew the clock was empty. Somehow he knew. I'm afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty. As you say, it can't ring. However, we must ask, when was the clockwork removed? If it was after the witness heard the clock, then there's no contradiction. That's true. That is a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it. And that is exactly what happened, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove when the clockwork was removed? Oh, impossible, of course. I have proof. What? Wasn't it you who told the proof is everything? Well, I was listening. And now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The evidence that proves when the clock was removed is... Maya's cell phone. Take a look at this. That's a very cute cell phone. Ooh, you have a girly phone. Wait. This isn't my phone. Listen. This is the defendant's cell phone, and it contains a recording. A recording of a conversation she had with the victim on the day of the murder. Order! The defendant's cell phone. This wasn't
brought to my attention. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it. Grumble. The good detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon. I gotta say, I'm starting to feel bad for the big fella. Let's hear the conversation. Beep. So you just want me to hold on to the thinker for you then? If you could. I should probably tell you, the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out, sorry. September 5th, 9:27 a.m. Beep! Your Honor, I think this makes it clear the clockwork was already gone by the time this was recorded. Which was well before the witness even arrived at her hotel. Meh. Well, Miss May, would you care to explain this to the court? Just how did you know the weapon was a clock? Well, isn't it obvious? I saw that clock before. What store is that again? I go to so many. Oops, I forgot. Wink. So the witness had seen it before? That would make sense. Does have any objections, Mr. Wright? Yes. The witness claims she has seen it before, but this directly contradicts a piece of evidence already submitted to this court. Well then, let's see it. Please produce this evidence that will prove the witness has not seen the clock before. Alright, so... I can't remember bringing up the wiretap, but I don't know if this is the right time for it yet. Because like the clock itself is actually a good one because it was made by Larry Butts, but I don't think the court would necessarily take that into evidence. Again, I might be thinking like a lawyer here. Let's bring up the wiretap. Here is undeniable proof. Ha! Please, this is a court case, not some surrealist performance art piece. Perhaps the defense would like to change its mind. Please produce the evidence that would prove the witness had not seen the clock before. Yes? True. And I'm here, it's like it's already in evidence, but again, I'm thinking like a lawyer. It's simple. This clock was never in any store ever. What? A friend of mine made that clock. Again, this is me like a lawyer, and I need to not think like a lawyer while playing this game. And the one that isn't here is in police custody. Impossible! Everything is sold in stores! Miss May, I think it's high time you went shopping for a better excuse. Oh, excuse is not on sale today? Oh, What's it to you, porcupine head? Oh, that was a shift. That stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it. Die! Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a court of law, and the witness will remain calm. Oh, silly me. Did I, like, lose it? I guess I did. Tee-hee, wink. Scary. Miss May, let me ask. Tell me, how did you know the weapon was a clock? Oh dear. Does the defense have an opinion on this behavior? Okay, this is it. Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to explain how I see the truth of the matter. Miss April May, you knew the weapon was a clock because... The witness had never held the clock in her hand. However, she had heard that it was a clock. She heard? That is correct, Your Honor. There is no other way she could have known the thinker was a clock. And I can show you the proof. Well, this is interesting. Let's see it then. Show me the evidence, and that's the wiretap. Have a look at this. Ah, oh, that. I found this in Miss May's room. And yes, Scarflash, that is some boobage. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what this is. Miss April May, you were tapping the victim Miss Mia Fay's home, were you not? Oh, objection! Your Honor,
This is irrelevant. I'm not entirely sure that it is. Objection overruled. It troubles me that our witness was in possession of a wiretap.
This is outrageous. Does the defense truly claim that the defense was tapping her phone?
Absolutely.
If that was the case, which it's not, you still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say that the weapon was a clock on the phone?
Can you prove that? I think not. Oh yeah, I think I can. It's simple.
What?
Here's my proof. Proof that the victim said on the phone that the weapon was a clock is... Let's just check. Yeah, yep. It made it look like that. Yep, right there. All right. It is the. That was the wrong button. We're presenting it. I present the defendant's cell phone. Yes, we've seen that. Listen once more to the conversation between the defendant and the victim. Beep. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Well, actually, there's something I want you to hold on to for me. Again, what's it this time? It's a clock. It's made to look like that statue, the Thinker, and it tells you the time. Miss April May, you used a wiretap to listen to this conversation. That's how you knew the Thinker was a clock. Am I wrong?
I?
Objection! Your Honor, this is ridiculous. Your Honor, look at the witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defense demands an answer. La la la. Witness, answer the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May? Shut up! All of you! What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You lawyer!
It's no fair, all of you ganging up on me like that! Oh, so I'm the bad girl, is that it? Is that it?
That did it. The court's seen the real Miss April May now. Now deal with the final blow. Why did you tap her phone? Answer the question.
Do I have to? Isn't this a murder trial? Isn't that tippity-tapping or irrelevant?
Gosh, she's saying exactly what Edgeworth wants her to say. Miss May, you were tapping the victim's phone. I hardly call that irrelevant. While this court does not condone the defense's tone of voice, he has a point. Well, Miss May, do you have an explanation for the court? Can you prove you had nothing to do with this murder, even though you tapped her phone? Ha, I'd like to see her pull that off.
Mr. Lawyer, I saw that evil, evil grin. You were probably thinking I'd like to see her pull that off, weren't you?
Damn, she's good.
Well, you're not the first man who's thought that. And of course I can, and will.
You can't be serious. No way.
Way, I say, way! Oh, and I assure you, I'm serious, Mr. Lawyer.
Okay, so the killing happened around 9 at night.
Why, that's just when I was getting room service from that sweet bellboy.
Room service?
Iced coffee, I believe it was. Iced coffee, you know? Like normal coffee, but iced. If you don't drink it quick, the ice melts and then you have regular cold coffee.
Iced coffee?
Think I'm making this up? Ask the bellboy.
Ergo, the witness was not at the scene at the time of the murder. Yeah, that's what I was going with there. So where does that leave us?
It is my great displeasure to inform you that the witness appears to have been tapping the victim's telephone.
However, that is a separate crime with no bearing on the current case whatsoever. Her testimony stands. She saw the defendant, Maya Fey, commit murder. No, they're going to let her just walk away? There's no way I can win this unless I tie Miss May to the murder somehow. Well, does the defense have anything to say? Well, come on, think of something. The defense would like to call the hotel bellboy as a witness. There's something suspicious here, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
I think you've sunken quite low enough already.
I object to calling the bellboy. Why? What's your reason?
Because I hold that the wiretapping had nothing to do with the killing. However, if you agree to one condition, I'll consent to calling this witness.
condition? You don't make conditions in court. If Miss April May Albi is not called into question after you examine the bellboy, then you will recognize that Miss April May was not the killer, thus she is innocent. And thereby you must also accept the verdict of guilty for Miss Maya Fey. That is my condition. What? I better find something suspicious in that bellboy's testimony. Otherwise, Maya will be declared guilty on the spot. What should I do? First off, you should never have a condition in a court case. And I don't like that, but we're gonna accept the condition. Alright, I've got nothing to lose, except for, well, everything. Understood, I accept your condition. Fool. You fell right into my trap. Wait. Very well. The court calls the hotel bellboy to the stand. I believe we're ready for the witness to testify. He certainly does look like a bellboy. Yes, sir. I received your summons in the middle of work, sir. I'm happy to be of service. That tea set looks rather heavy, so without further ado, the witness may begin his testimony. Very good, sir. Miss May's room service. I'm the head bellboy at the Fine Gatewater Hotel, in business for 4 generations. I received a call around 8 in the evening from our guest, Miss May. She asked for a nice coffee to be brought to her at 9 on the dot, sir. I brought to her at precisely the requested time, of course. I delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May, herself. I see. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Right. I'm ready. I hope. This is it. If I can't prove Miss May was involved with the murder now, I will be finished. I'm the head bellboy at the Fine Gateway Hotel, in business for generations. I'm not going to push that. We received a call after 8 in the evening from our guest, Miss May. Are you sure it was Miss May on the phone? Absolutely, sir. How can you be so certain? I checked Miss May in personally, sir. Not only did I see her in all her stunning radiance, but also heard her voice. Then I saw them, and I... The point being, I remember her quite well, sir. Yes, what then? She asked for an iced coffee to be brought up to her at 9 on the dot. 9 on the dot, you say? Yes, I confirmed that detail several times. She was watching a program on the TV and wished to drink after she finished, sir. 9, the time of the murder. I brought to her at precisely the requested time, of course. I delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May herself. Alright. I accidentally clicked one too many times there. Precisely 9, then. Precisely, exactly, and most definitely, sir, 9 p.m. How can you be so sure? Miss May was quite insistent that it be brought then. Oh, bellboy, tee-hee, I'd like iced coffee at exactly 9. Something like that, sir. Therefore, I knocked on her door at the crack of 9, sir. Why would she be so particular about the time? And I delivered the coffee to our guest, Miss May herself. You are sure it was Miss April May herself? Absolutely, sir. Absolutely? Yes, sir. As in, so very absolutely, sir. It's an endearing mannerism of mine. How come you're so very certain? Well, when I brought room service, sir, the guest, sir, favored me with an embarrasser, sir. Embarrasser, is that French for embrace? It's French for kiss, sir, but not a French kiss, sir. More of a peck on the cheek. Why would she have done that? I believe perhaps she was momentarily swayed by my prim demeanor, sir. It was a moment I shall never ever forget, sir. Sounds pretty fishy to me. I think our Miss May was up to something and wanted the bellboy to remember her. So good, there's nothing there. Is that it? Tisk tisk. Finally, you understand. This bellboy has absolutely no reason to lie. Now, if you have any decency, you would end this rather tedious cross-examination here. It was a bit tedious. Witness may leave the stand. I can't let this happen, can I? I'm gonna protest this one. Wait! Please wait! Yes? Does the defense have something to add? One last question. Let me ask one last question. Your Honor, I must object. This charade of justice has gone on long enough. Now, Mr. Edgeworth. All right, Mr. Wright. I'll give you one more question, that's all. Okay. This is really it now. This is my last chance. What do I ask him about? Okay. It wouldn't be checking, I don't think. I don't think that's the key one. I think bed making, because there was that very obscure fact of the very obscure fact that the bed was well made. Let's give it a try. Bed making. Tell me about making beds that day. I was wondering what you were going to ask. Bed making a new low. Now, Mr. Edgeworth. Witness will answer the defense's question. Yes, well, it was quite like any other day's bed making. I changed the sheets, the pillowcases, and then I proceeded to make the bed. Had to bring pillows for two, of course, but they're quite light, you see. I see. Thank you. Pillows. For two? Bellboy, what did you just say? Yes, pillows are light, sir. Bellboy, tell us the truth now. Was someone else staying in Miss May's room? I object! That was objectionable! Objection overruled. The witness will answer the question. Yes, I see. Why did you not mention this in your testimony? Well, sir, you didn't ask? Nice try. That's the sort of thing you're normally supposed to mention. Yes, quite. Indeed. It was the, good barrister there, Mr. Edgeworth, who... He asked me not to mention if I wasn't specifically asked, sir. Oof. You fool! I've done it! I've won! Miss April May checked into a twin room with a man. Correct? Yes, sir. Then when you brought them room service, you didn't see that man in the room. That's right, sir. Your Honor, we have just learned of another person involved who may have been the murderer. In light of this new fact, I hold that it's impossible to judge the defendant. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? And who, Mr. Wright? Who is this other person? Simple. It was... the man who checked in with Miss May. Oof. Your Honor, as has been previously revealed, Miss April May was tapping the victim's phone, yet Miss May herself is an ally at the time of the murder. However, that does not clear the man that was with her. The bellboy saw no one else in the room at the time of the murder. My, what a convenient little setup! But it's too late. Too late? I suppose you'd like it if it was too late, wouldn't you? After all, it was you who hid the presence of the other man from this court! Oof! Upstart! Amateur! These accusations are... ludicrous! Enough! The court acknowledges the defense's argument. I expect the prosecution and defense to look into this matter fully. I understood? Yes. Yes, Your Honor. That is all today for the trial of my FA. Court is adjourned. September 7th, 2:24 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1. Mr. Wright? You were amazing in there! The second time. The first time I was, trying to think too much like a lawyer. So, whoops. You were amazing in there! Really! I think I might be your newest fan! Oh, I was just doing my job, Then again, that other attorney was pretty cool, too. Huh? That face of his, with his eyes wide and trembling lips, it sent shivers up my spine. If you say so. So what happens with me? Do I get to go home now? Well... No, I don't think so. Not yet. Oh, I see. I got a great lead in today's trial. A lead? That man with Miss May. He's the key. Oh, I get it. What happened to Miss May after that, anyway? I heard they arrested her. I guess she's learning her charms won't work everywhere? Oh, I'm doing the wrong voice here. She's probably at the detention center now. I may have to go down there later. Anyway, this case is far from closed. Yes, sir. I'm going to find out more about this man. Do you think he was the one who... Maybe so. Sis. Don't worry. I'll find him by tomorrow, I promise. I'm counting on you. I asked for a full record of April May's testimony. I thought it might come in handy during the trial tomorrow. But now that I have it, I'm not so sure. Because her testimony was all lies. In fact, there's only one part that hasn't been stricken from the record. The victim dodged attack that ran to the right, but she was caught and struck. I don't know how much good this will do me at all now. Anyway, time to hit the pavement and do some investigating. Maya doesn't belong in the detention center, and it's up to me to set her free. To be continued. I think this is where I'm going to leave the stream today, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching an actual lawyer play some Phoenix Wright. if you did, let me know, and I might do this again. The story is interesting so far, that's for sure. But otherwise, I need to... I need to get out of here. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Goodbye.